If you want to prove that you're powerful, do something that no one has done before. And convince my mom that it's fine that I don't have children. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, how do you feel about your ending?
I didn't, yeah, I didn't like love the button. I was originally trying to think of more callbacks. Like I wanted to do one about Ali Abdullah Saleh and like just something else and something else. But I kind of was like, this is a clean button. I'm gonna run away.
Yeah, you ended it so fast. You didn't even like. You literally like. And here's my final joke. Thank you so much. Like you didn't like you.
Yeah.
Remember, everyone remember. Your joke doesn't end when you say the last word of your joke. Your joke ends once you said your joke. The audience has reacted, and we potentially reacted to their reaction. So the audience didn't even have time to react to that joke, and you were already telling them to react to something else, which is I'm getting the hell out of here.
Before.
Yeah.
Convince my mom that it's fine that I don't have children. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Right? But they're starting to laugh for that joke. Thanks so much. And they have to convert their own laugh into like, oh, thank you, goodbye. And then as we walk off, watch. As we walk off, we're not looking at them. We're like, I got to get the hell out of Dodge. Like, watch. Right? No, like, oh, hey, look how we entered. Look how we entered in comparison. Hey, right? We could have exited the same way. Thank you. Hey. Then
No, I don't know. It feels very like ugh, what am I, a fucking queen waving
Okay.
and saying goodbye?
Okay, imagine you met these two people at a party. One of them, it's been so nice to talk to you tonight. Versus, it's been so nice to talk to you tonight. I'm going to text you that thing we talked about. Which one of those people do you think actually had fun talking to you?
I've never been invited to a party. Can't relate.
You've been invited to a laughter party.
Yeah, no, I hear
like
you. That is a good point.
The audience sees us go, we had so much fun. Death stare as I walk off stage, then I'm done and I don't have to fucking deal with them anymore, right?
Yeah, no, I do. I think that is actually a really good way of thinking about it. You connect with people, and then yes, there's a good close. Yeah, I don't know. I think something about it to me, like the leaving, feels a little like self-important to like be like, bye, you love me, right? But that is a good way to think about it.
We don't have to be bye, we love you, but ideally it's some sort of thing about like I'm acknowledging that we're leaving and we had a good time. Whatever fits your personality, even if it's like a whatever it is. Just something so it's not just death stare, I'm done, I don't have to talk to you guys anymore, so now I'm ignoring you.
Yeah, for sure. Totes.
Absolutely coming back with a bigger dick. Because I'm coming back as this cute little, like, wholesome, quiet one over here. He ain't wholesome and quiet. He's just tired, dragging all that big dick around all day. All right, guys, I'm Jatwan Whedon. Thank you so much.
No, with the microphone. No. Look how focused we are on that microphone. No. When you're doing look, I can focus on you. My microphone is behind me. I can still grab it, I can still pull it out, and I can still talk to you while focusing on you. You see how I can do this right now? Behind me. It's fudging behind me, and I can still deal with it. Focus as the audience. Oh, bye. It was so much fun talking to you. Yay. And then put your microphone away instead of, oh, I had so much fun with you guys today. I loved you guys so much. Oh my God, this microphone is so interesting. Okay, bye. Like, no. You don't even, I don't know what you're doing now, but you see how long we didn't look at the audience? They're basically going, we love you. Thank you so much for this time together.
Wholesome and quiet. He's just tired, dragging all that big dick around all day. All right, guys, I'm Jatwan Whedon. Thank you so much.
We love you. You love us? No. 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 Now you don't have control of the stage. Right? It's one of the easiest ways to tell how long someone is in the game is once again, I'm still talking to you as I search for this mic. Microphone technique. We can talk, walk, and chew gum at the same time. And if you can't do that, if you're not a master of the tools of your trade such that you can do multiple things at once, it shows. It makes it seem like you haven't had enough time with these tools. It only takes one day to get super comfortable with this and just slow down a little bit. Make sure you're always grabbing the clip because that's where you have control, and make sure you focus. It's always audience first. Always audience first while you do something. I can do a million things to play with this mic. Oh, hey, like right here, I'm trying to show you exactly how much I can do while still focusing forward and not looking at my hands, not looking at the mic stand. As I move it back, as I move it forth, as I pull the mic out of it, as I put the mic back in. We should never be stun locked by the microphone, especially in the most important moments, the intro moment and the outro moment. So like, what was it? Great set, but it's moments like those that really show really fast who maybe has had hours and hours and hours and years of stage time, and maybe who is newer to the game. So if you want to seem further along than you are, mic technique first and foremost. Always audience first. Other than that, look, I like this set. I like this set a lot. Did we step on and always stuff your pants with a sock? Yeah. Always stuff your pants with a backup microphone. 100%. Look, it's no harm, no foul. We just did a great set. We were nervous, so we defaulted in the end. But because of how we've been practicing, our default is bad mic technique. If we had been practicing with intent, and we always got it right in practice, then we would default to a good habit on stage, which is why it's so important to have mindful practice, even the small bits of stand-up like this. Open mics are the worst for people not caring and then them developing bad habits for mic technique, intro moments, and outro moments. Other than that, look, absolutely great set. What do you do if the cord falls to the floor? So you're talking about like, are you talking about like if it becomes detached and it falls all the way? Or if you're talking about it was like wrapped around the mic and the bulk of it goes and hits the floor? What do you mean specifically? Or do you mean if you trip over the cord on the floor? You can get away with anything as long as you're like, oh, well, I guess I can't play with my toys. Got to put them away better. Ideally, you can make a joke that is inside the world of your joke. Like if we were doing the dick joke and we tripped over the mic, yeah, I'd be tripping over this this mic like I'm tripping over my dick or whatever. If we were doing like Ranya's joke about the artist's way, like this is the artist's detour or whatever. Ideally, we make a joke if something weird happens with the mic that is in reference to the world of comedy that we are currently in, and then we can laugh it off. And let me know if that answered your specific question, CJ. But ideally, we should also be aware of the mic cord on the ground. That's also part of mic technique and mic awareness. You shouldn't be so stun-locked on just performing your words that you aren't aware of the reality of the room, which includes where the microphone is, where the mic tail is, and where the mic stand is, right? Am I right? And all it takes is a second of slowing down, and I can subconsciously, I don't have to look at the mic stand. I can feel around and find it with my hand. Slowly, right? I'm just slowing down a little bit, and then I find it, and then I can put it in, and I seem more smooth and more professional. Why? Because you're my focus. Because I'm tricking you by focusing on me instead of what's happening over here. It's the magician's trick. Focus here, not over here. When you take it out of the stand and it becomes disconnected? Ideally, when you take it out of the stand, you always want to grab it by the clip. Because if you pull it, the clip is most likely where it's going to get stuck, or it's most likely where the tail is going to get stuck. So if you grab it by the clip, you can pull it out. I can feel it. I can feel it with this part of my thumb, so I know when it is out of the clip, and I can pull up and pull that tail out of the disconnect, this little Pac-Man part of the clip. But I do that by subtly knowing the tactile feel of this, right? I've done this so many times, right? I know how it feels, and I know what I'm looking for with my hand. I know the sensation. I can also put it in the exact same way. I'm using my fingers to push the tail in and then sort of land the butt of the microphone. Sometimes there are shitty connections and it can still pop out. But, yeah, find it and put it in. You got to find it and put it in. Act like you've been there before. Nice and slow, with lubrication if possible.
You wondering what is Mexican Jeffrey Dahmer doing up here? Thank you, Raven. One more time, we can hear you. So yeah.
One thing, I like us rewarding Raven for being a big laugh, but watch out. Raven is one of the few people that's willing to loudly break the laugh barrier for you. Yeah, it's noticeable, but he's doing you a favor. He's a strong ally in the crowd, and for us to being like, thank you, Raven, we can hear you, it's kind of punishing him for rewarding us. There was an open mic I did years ago where no one. It was like a 40 person in the crowd open mic, and me and the girl I was dating at the time were really the only people laughing. And while everyone else wasn't laughing, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's a great joke," and I was giving support to the other comics. Then one comic walked out, and I was like, "Oh yeah, good joke." He's like, "What are you, like the Lord of Comedy?" Okay, then I shut up, and then he got no laughs for the rest of his set. And he's like, "Oh, where's the Lord of Comedy? You don't like that joke?" And I was like, "No, I'm not giving you anything else." So watch out. Like on the one hand, when someone's laughing extra loud, yes, it is noticeable, and we might need to call it out. But if we actively punish them for it, and they're the only ones breaking the silence barrier, we have just hurt ourselves. Because now it's going to be even harder for someone to break the laugh barrier for us to get some sort of signal. It's like, I don't hate us referencing Raven, but a little bit, oh, we can hear you is a little bit punishing him. That's the part that I don't like of it. I like the shout out to Raven. Shout out to Raven, yeah, right back at you, buddy. Right? I would rather us do it in a positive way because the rest of the audience isn't necessarily fully comfortable breaking the laugh barrier right yet.
So also,
And it's not like if he was interrupting our jokes, if he was laughing in the middle of our jokes and he was interrupting our flow, yeah, then maybe shit on him a little bit, but not in the current dynamic.
So also you might be wondering, like, why CJ? Why do you go by CJ? You don't look like a CJ. Maybe somebody that's from TJ, but not a CJ. And so I have to explain to him, I was actually bullied in high school, and I grew up in a high school.
You see how our tone is like, I got a lot of things to get out right now. Oh my god, sit back, my guys. Even my tone is saying like, we're gonna have to blaze through this. This is gonna be a big pace. Okay, you're gonna sit back in your chair and listen as I get a lot of things done. Right? Even your vibe is sort of saying that, audience member, be prepared. You're about to get a big info dump. Instead of like, I'm CJ, you might think TJ. It's more vibey. Right? Instead of let's get through all of our homework so we can maybe get some dessert at the end.
Hispanic. It was one that I was actually like having a lot of good luck with. It was farmersonly.com. And
woo! We sort of smile at them, but we're like, yeah, yeehaw, right? We could have rewarded that.
It turns out
Instead, we continue on the train tracks. So the audience is slowly starting to percolate for us, but we're blazing past it.
all the women were looking was for hoes. And that's okay with me because all I was looking to do was plow.
Great. Oh, yeah. Look. I like it. I like it. I am glad to hear that I'm hopefully changing. Guiding you towards the better. At least in my opinion. Yeah. Glad to hear it. And look, it takes time. It takes time to put all these skills as second nature. We're focused on so many things during stand-up. They add a new skill, and sometimes you'll drop your old skills to try to implement new skill, and you're like, oh shit, let me get old skill back, and then you drop new skill, and it takes a while before you can play both at the same time. So don't expect everything to change overnight. So I like that some of our moves are changing. Yeah.
At the end of the day, I just ended up being their farmhand. So.
Okay, farmhand. I don't understand. I get plow. I get I get plow and hoe, but farmhand is like farmhand, just like general general helper, subservient boy. I don't fully know your implication there, so that's why that's more confusing as a joke. I'm like, farmhand as in laborer. Yeah, I know, but I don't understand how that references dating and sex as clearly as hose and plow. So as far as intellectually heightening, it's the more confusing one. So the joke is de-heightening at that stage instead of getting more clear and more directly related. Do we see that? So it's like I just need to understand. My audience brain is confused exactly how laborer works in the dating world. Because the other ones were so good and so clear that in comparison, the joke is de-heightening there. Because ideally, the strongest thing is the last one.
Today, I just ended up being their farmhand. So.
Like you might need the farmhand. I mean, because I use my hand and we are covered in dirt. You could have had a recovery line.
And I also did download Grindr. I only did that because I like the attention. Okay.
I love that. I only do that because I like the attention. Oh, I swear. And I love the dates. And I love the dick in my mouth. But that's the only reason. We could have done more. I mean, look, there's lots of things. Hose, plows. I'm looking to ride. So my wild oats. Sorry if these jokes are corny. Right? Right? This is a load of bull. If we go out, I'll buy you a Moscow mule. I'll be making you say E-I-E-I-O. There's 1,000 jokes we can add here. You know, I do farm jokes all the time at Batsu. But they just need to be clear.
I understand what it's like growing up in Mexico. See, in Mexico, we actually give nicknames to people based off their skin color. You know, I have a cousin, and we call him Güero. The guy's got blonde hair, blue eyes, has a 780 credit score. Coincidentally, he lives out in Apache Junction. And, you know, the nicknames progressively get more racist the darker you get. I have yet another cousin, and we call him Negro. And you know what? I'm not even going to get into that one right now. That one got me in trouble last time when I was on South Phoenix. Thank you, guys. The Mexican Sea.
It's the same thing with Rania. We didn't even let that last joke land. We didn't. Everyone, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Is everyone looking at me right now? Stare into the screen. Look at me. I need this message to land to everyone hard. Your joke does not end when you say the last word of your joke. That is not the end of your joke. That is not the end of your joke. You might think that's the end of the joke, but that is because you are a little baby and you do not know. Your joke does not end when you say the last word. You say the last word, audience responds, we respond to the audience response. Okay, we ran the light. So I understand we want to get off. Still, if we've already run the light, I'll take the 2 more seconds to leave that pause and then go thank you for my time. Or you can start packing up so the person that is giving the light, like, blah, 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 here's my last thing, and here's my last joke. Right, thank you. So the person that's giving you the light knows that, hey, you're getting the hell out of Dodge. But don't swallow your last joke like that. It's a bad habit to form. Even if you've run the light, it's a bad habit to form. Don't ever do that. Once again, this is why I don't like open mics, because people ingrain bad habits in themselves because of situations like this, which honestly, I know it just came down hard. No harm, no foul. No harm, no foul. I get it. We're like, I need a good relationship with this club. I got to get the hell out of Dodge. I get it. But it's stuff like that that's making us subconsciously put other bad habits into our instruments that we're then going to have to spend more time digging out of our instruments. And so, like, did we gain ground or did we lose ground in this open mic? We gained some ground and we lost some other ground. So we might have been, as far as skill level, neutral overall for this open mic if enough of those things counteract each other, right? And then it's sort of like we're spinning our tires with regards to getting better in the art form. Something to think about, everyone. Okay, sorry. The deal with the it's both. I mean, it's a bad habit running the light. I didn't know that was the situation. So as far as like eating our last joke and pulling the ripcord and not giving our last joke the chance to land, that is a bad habit. And just because we saw it just in Rania, then we saw it again, I need to like come down so hard because twice we've seen 2 comics in a row do the same bad habit. And so I don't want us yeah, I'm nicer when I got the green wall. The green wall will be back next week, hopefully. Okay, anyways, with regards to this joke.
You know what? I'm not even going to get into that one right now.
Are we saying I'm not going to get into that one because we, I see. So are we saying I'm not going to get into that because that joke is longer and we were afraid we were going to run the light further? Because to my money, we kind of promised this thing about, like, my other cousin has this nickname. This is like a fun roller coaster we're about to go on. Psych, we're not going. Oh, okay, no. Okay, yeah. Right now, this joke, when you're saying, like, I'm not even, his nickname is Negro, and when I'm not going to get into that one, it's kind of cheeky, but as an audience member, I'm like, oh, well, why? What's the hidden knowledge? It's hard to have hidden knowledge, because now I'm curious, and so it leaves a big question in my mind. So it's cheeky, but it's also dangerous, because the audience might be wondering about that hidden knowledge more than they're relieved from your joke. So there might be when there are 3 parts to a joke. There's the setup, where we're putting in the tension, the expectation. There's the resolve to the tension, where we do the twist or the payoff in an unexpected way. And then there's the resolve, where the audience knows everything is safe. If the audience doesn't know everything's safe on the other side of the joke, they won't laugh. If there's a question in their mind, they're like, they're not fully safe. And in this joke, there's at least in my audience simulation brain, which tends to be pretty accurate for my own money, I'm too big wondering about, like, well, why can't you get into it? more than I'm like, oh, ha 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 ha, he has a darker complexion, we probably have a terrible nickname for him, right? They're almost equal, so overall I'm like, to that joke. Jatuan, I know that the implication is it was about to be racist stuff, but you're like, hey, the other day I ate a pizza. You know what happens to me when I eat pizzas? I'm not even gonna get into it. My aunt is like, I think you mean like diarrhea, but I don't know. So I can't fully pay off that joke because I'm wondering. I've drunk the William Kool-Aid. You're like always right. Oh, I mean, please. Look, I'm willing to be wrong. I just need to see actual proof. A lot of times people are like, oh, you're wrong, William, and I go, show me footage, and they show me footage, and then usually the footage proves me right in some way or shape or form. And so it's like, I like to be proven wrong, because when I'm proven wrong, I learn something. I get better at comedy when I am proven wrong. But for the most part, when people check me and then we go to the actual evidence instead of just our feelings, unfortunately, I tend to know a little bit.
You're number 3 on Yahoo trending topics. A resident drops, baby, you click on it. It's you in slow-mo dropping the baby with.
Right. And another thing, we're sort of like, it's a very good premise. I like all the beats that we're hitting of it. But we're also, I'm slamming this premise. I'm not really caring if the audience responds or not. I'm not really rewarding them for their feelings. I'm not really subconsciously asking for your feelings with spaces and with like listening.
With some catchy music behind it. You drop the bomb on me, baby. You took the bomb on me.
Oh, great,
Scary
love it.
part, though, has got to be the future, 2042. You know, you run out to go grab a coffee. Guess who's your barista? Little Johnny, you dropped 18.
Okay, once again, I like the song, and honestly, I think we picked the perfect song. Sometimes when we have premises, we actually come with like a B tier or an A tier placeholder, and there's still an S tier, and we have to sit with the joke maybe for a month before we come up with an S tier. I think we had you dropped the bomb on me, baby. We could come up with different songs that would be funny as an underscore, but they wouldn't be better. They would just be equally as funny. I think that's an S tier. Great, honestly, great job as far as maximizing comedy math. Yeah, for that joke, 100% we did it. But you see how intrinsically sexual jokes, drug jokes, edgelord jokes, intrinsically they're not bad, and there is a demand for them. However, they are overdone. And so everyone sees these low-hanging fruit and they're like, ooh, I want to take a piece of that low-hanging fruit. And then you get on a show and you're going to be 6th in the lineup. And the first comedian does overly sexual edgelord material. And then the second comedian does overly sexual edgelord material. And then the third comedian does overly sexual edgelord material. And then by the time you're 6th, it's ruined. It's ruined because it is oversaturated. And the audience is like, can we just talk about like lima beans or like riding the bus or anything else? And the next comedian's like, nah, I'm back to eating pussy again. And he's like, it's too much. It's too much. It's like, well, hey, I'm giving you 8 helpings of chicken noodle soup. It's too much chicken noodle soup. So unfortunately, the community at large has ruined those topics. So if we want to be a more consistent, safer comedian, we have to stay away from those topics. Not because there isn't good jokes to be had in those topics, but just because they are tend to going to be burned by the rest of the community. And we want to be more safe and have less variance. Okay, Chase, I have time to work on you. Then I got to end the stream, and I will have the one-on-one with Chicken Joe in about an hour. So
Chase Hardy!
No! Shame! Beautiful reaction from this crowd. And our prime directive walking in is to put that phone on the stool instead of, oh yeah, oh thank you, oh I appreciate it, oh I love it. Then put the phone down. Audience first always. Beautiful crowd, beautiful opportunity. Absolutely hate that we're not focused on them. Okay. Thank you so much. So they're applauding, and then you thank them after the applaud, and then we're berating them with sound. Okay, watch.
Chase Hardy!
Thank you. Oh, I love it. Appreciate you guys. Yeah.
Hell yeah, you guys. I
appreciate you guys coming out. I know Kat just mentioned that she moved out of her parents' house like 20 years ago. I recently just moved out of my parents' house.
You see how immediately silent? You see how immediately silent the audience is? Because they stop and go, hey, here's a bunch of things. This whole thing's about to be about me talking. I don't really care. Yeah, thank you for your applause, but really I want to get this huge verbose thing out. I'm going to keep talking. I don't really care about your input. This is about me talking. Hey, do you feel things? Because I'm not going to let you have time to feel those things. I'm just going to keep talking. I'm going to get to the end of my joke. The audience is going to be pushed so far back in their chair by these initial words. Like, you got to be, whatever our first joke is, it's got to be really clever. Look, it seems like we're about to reference something another comedian said as a callback of some ground that another comedian has laid. I like that tactic. I like that we thank the audience as well. I don't like the timing of it, and I don't like that our first connection with the audience, our first training them, is training that I'm about to deluge you with sound. So I like the tactics of thanking them, and I like the tactics of using things, it seems like we're referencing things other comedians have done. I don't like the manifestation of how we're attacking those moves. Does that make sense, Chase?
House?
I'm talking.
And she tries to keep things short because she has to get oxygen all the time. So when you answer the phone with her, it's just like, don't go outside.
Oh, what I absolutely love, and most people don't do, is most people when they do act outs, they just teleport into that character for that line. Then my aunt said, "Don't go outside." But if you think of that act out as starting a little bit before, so we can see the motivation to whatever that line they're going to say, and a little bit after, so we can see their reaction to the after effect of that line, it usually makes act outs really good. So I like that we have that, don't go outside. I love that we have that pre-moment. It's a higher level skill. Love that we do that. And it's physical information. So a little bit rescinded what I just said. Absolutely love. It's subtle. Absolutely love that.
It's the whole thing.
What? And then we abandon it? Don't go outside. Right? Just a little bit more, because the whole premise is that she needs oxygen so much that she needs to get back to it. We only show one breath of oxygen, not how she takes a breath of oxygen, does one short thing, then needs it again. Right? That's following the premise that we set up, right?
It's the whole thing. But I don't blame them, though, for capturing the pigeon and keeping it, because if there was ever a bird to overthrow a government, it'd be a pigeon. They're known for their coups.
Okay, if we're about to do coup, then don't use it on the English joke. But there's other ways we can do an English joke without the I don't know. I want you to notice the audience has a very big, beautiful reaction. They want to play with you in this moment. Where are we looking? Are we playing with them? Or are we going, yeah, I just did it, you fucks. Oh, yeah, I see what you did. Oh, I got you. No, we are disconnecting from the audience. We are ashamed to play with them in this moment. So you're losing connection right now. The audience going, ooh, is great. It's them wanting to play with us. Instead, we're going, I don't want to have this. I don't want to make this moment with you. I'm going to disconnect right now. Don't get into this habit. We've succeeded really well, and you're literally, you have a bunch of gold from the gold mine, and you're just throwing it away instead of depositing it into the bank. You're literally walking to the bank with all this gold, and you're going, I don't fucking need this gold. Let me just dump a bunch of it real fast.
My favorite part about that joke is smart people don't laugh at it. And
Great. I like that follow through. You see, as we connect with them, we can fuel it. And we're looking down again. Even if our notebook is on the okay. Oh my god. Remember earlier? Maybe you weren't here yet. Remember earlier, everyone, when I said, "Look at me, look at me, look at me," and I made your joke does not. Everyone, look at me for real this time. Everyone, look at me. There's no nicety anymore in me. This message needs to land. Your joke does not end when you finish the last word of your joke. Your joke ends when the audience has reacted to your joke and you have reacted to their reaction. And if your reaction to their reaction causes another reaction, then you have to do another cycle of that back and forth before your joke is over. You looking down at your page where the audience is reacting is going, hey, tell me about your day. Does it seem like I care about your day? No, it does not. No, it does not. This is a bad habit to form. Look at me. We're doing really good things. We have really clever writing. Do not do this. Look at me. Even if you need your notebook, you are fucking yourself right now with your habit. You are making yourself a worse comedian in some ways by doing the show this way. Once again, I'm invested because I see the potential, and I don't want you to have to untrain yourself, because every time you train yourself bad, that's a whole nother rep. You have to untrain it and then do again to train it in a good way. Do not do this. Get the reactions, do it, then go into the page, then get next joke. One of my biggest pet peeves. If you're in the page and you're not doing the follow through and you're not doing back and forth, you're not really testing that joke. You're doing a bastardized Frankenstein version of it.
And this might be divisive for some of you. I am also gay. Okay. Wow.
You see how even a simple wow gets another laugh? More in this one because of the memory of the layout. You're totally right. But did you see how this is one of the first time we directly responded to the audience, and all we had to do is go wow and react to them, and then they laugh again because we're connecting to them, because we're validating their inputs that they're giving us. You see how simple it is? Just wow. Super vague, but it's validating to their feeling, and it's commenting on it, and so they feel like they're played with. We need more of this in the rest of it.
I was like, I've never felt so red state in my life. I was like, someone tell me if I spontaneously grow a bindi at any point up here.
Oh my god.
I am gay, but I don't like to make.
Yeah, you see how the audience was still reacting with an oh my god as we were getting our next joke? You see that? You see that? Audience is still vibing with this joke, but we're not in the moment with them. We're already planning for next moment. So we're already at the next date location. They're like, where did my date go? Oh shit, I thought we were vibing in this location. He's all shit. Okay, let me leave this date location then. Practice always being in the same moment as the audience.
I get like my whole personality, for the record. Like, I see LGBTQIA, and my first thought is that's a really shitty Scrabble hand to have. Like, I don't have a lot of political stances with it at all. Like, I'm anti-gun, but I'm like pro-shooting, like right in this general area.
Right, you see how big this they're bidding for an applause break right now, but we're not acknowledging it at all. We could probably have maybe turned that into applause. Yeah, if right now we're prepping for next joke, we're just holding for applause. If we're like if we had acknowledged that they wanted to give us an applause break and we had allowed them to do so, I bet you those people bidding it would have led the whole crowd into an applause break in that moment. But instead they're taking their cue off you. They don't know if they're allowed to or not. So they're like, am I allowed to do this? I don't know. Oh, okay, maybe I'll end it. So you ate your own applause break there with your performance skills. So you are -1 applause break thanks to what you are doing.
Like, if this was a black light, it'd be glowing like a scorpion. But it's true, I am like a different type of gay. Like, the type of gay I am is like type 2. I wasn't born with it. You know, and for the most part, you can live a normal life if you just take your insulin, and it's a backshot Bailey.
You see how once again they're trying to give you an applause break? Where are we looking? Are we validating that applause break? No, the audience has learned that you only want and then stop. So instead of giving you a full applause break, they're going to give you and then stop. If you had validated that first applause break, they probably would have done second applause break without you needing to permiss them, because they would have been trained that it's okay. So for my money, you are down 2 applause breaks because you are not using the audience. You're not validating them. You're not really rewarding them. We're staying in our comfortable pocket. Yeah? Which, look, it's very clever. So do we have to? No. But not all audiences will be this nice. And especially with how we train them up top, it's dangerous to not practice this skill. Once again, we are very clever, so you are less in danger than the average person. But this compounds, and especially if we're doing 12-minute sets. If we're look, I can very easily see you getting offered 30-minute sets, hour-long sets. These audience trainings, they compound. If you train the audience not to give you an applause break in minutes 6 and 7, that training continues for the other 53 minutes of your set if you're doing an hour. Versus if you train them, they are allowed to reward you, you do want them to give them the applause breaks, then you get the payoff for that training for the other 53 minutes of our set. So it's like, it doesn't matter so much when we're doing 5 minutes, but the longer amount of time that we do, the more you need these skills. Otherwise, you can dig yourself in a very big hole compared to the other comedians. Yeah. Once again, you don't have to do Chase is asking. So essentially, the main takeaway is making sure validating audience reactions as they come. Yeah, you don't have to do the full William of like, this person gets it. Ooh, yeah, thank you. It can even be as subtle about like even like a point and like a head nod to the applause break, so they know that you hear them and that they and that you allow it. Human beings naturally are lazy. We evolved in a state of the world where energy was hard to find. So when we can, in all aspects, we will try to spend less energy. If the audience is doing something and it doesn't have a result, if they're pressing their video game controller by going, but the screen doesn't change because they're watching a movie, they will press their video game controller less and less. And they'll start going, And right now, we're not really doing the live part of live comedy. We're not a completely zero batting rate. We have done it some, but in general, we're not validating them as much. And it doesn't have to be big. It just has to be subtle to basically subconsciously, we need to show that I appreciate you guys making noise, and this is what I want. I'm gonna leave space for this, and I'm gonna reward you in small, subtle ways. So then the audience feels good about it, and then gives you more.